Alright, so first up, we have a 1988 $1 bill. Now this one is definitely one of my favorites of this video. So you would think that nothing is wrong with this bill. If we actually look there by Washington, you could see some like reddish pink marks, so you can tell that the bill's been circulated. It's not in the best shape. You see that there on the reverse as well. It's got some marks that would be like from a marker or something of that nature. So it does have a little bit of damage to it. It's not in the best condition. But if we focus here on the front of the bill, now this bill here is very valuable for one reason and one reason only. If we look here at the green serial numbers, you can see here on the left that the serial number ends with a star. You see the one here on the right side of the bill ends with the letter L. So that is a mismatched suffix error. So you guys want to look for mismatched numbers. If basically you want both serial numbers to be identical. If they are not identical, then you definitely have an error bill that could be worth a lot of money. So I cannot stress enough, always check your bills. Go to the bank, get some bills, search for these types of errors. This $1 bill here sold for over $16,000. $16,000, a super simple error to look for. There's actually been a lot of mismatched serial numbers found, so it is definitely possible to go find them. It's just going to be extremely hard. It's not going to be easy. This is why it's called rare money. Alright, next up is a $20 bill. Now this is similar. I actually mentioned this in one of my previous videos, not this specific bill, but one similar to it. It has a mismatched serial number. So if we look at the one on the left, it starts off with ME9470. And if we look at the one on the right side of the $20 bill, you see that it starts off with ME9479. So instead of 9470, 9479. A 0 and a 9 is the difference. So that is a mismatched serial number. This would get passed up in circulation very, very easy. People never search for this stuff. So I recommend that you always search for these mismatched serial numbers because they give your bills a lot of value. Now, this $20 bill is in excellent condition, and this $20 bill from 2013 sold for over $3,900, almost $4,000 for a $20 bill. That is incredible. Here's a super simple error. You can look for this on any type of bill, really. You see here on the reverse of this $100 bill that it has a misaligned back printing. So that is pretty simple, self-explanatory. This $100 bill sold for over $1,600. Moving on to another $1 bill. Now this is pretty simple, self-explanatory as well. You can see the seals and the serial numbers are not aligned correctly. That is a misaligned overprint error taking place on this $1 bill. And this bill sold for over $3,800. Next up is a $50 bill. Now you can see here on the left side we're missing a lot of printing. It is the missing black overprint and serial numbers error. Now you can see that the serial number on the right side and the left side, they're missing. So it's going to give the bill some value. This one didn't sell for thousands of dollars, but it still sold for over $850. That is incredible for a $50 bill. You cannot beat that profit. Here's another $20 bill from 1999. Now this one here has a misalignment error. You can see that the seals and the serial numbers again are not aligned properly, and that's what gives it some value. This $20 bill sold for over $1,500. Moving right along to a older style $10 bill. This one is from 1988, and this Federal Reserve note here has a gutter fold error on the face. And we can see that taking place. You see the serial number and the seals are not aligned properly because of this gutter fold error. You see the error really well there on the whole right side of the $10 bill. And this bill sold for over $2,900. This one here is a 1935 $1 bill. So it is a silver certificate. I actually have a couple of these myself. Now you can see that it's not in the greatest condition. However, because of the error on it, it makes it a little more valuable. So it's got a gutter fold error on it, and we can see that there in the image displayed. This $1 bill sold for a little over $50. So nothing crazy, but if it was in better condition, it would have sold for a lot more money. Next up, this one is another gutter fold error. It is a $20 bill from 1963. So we can see those lines on it taking place on both the front and back of the bill. And that is what's going to give it a lot of value. Now it is a 1963 star note, so if we look at the end of the serial number, you will see that there are stars. So I personally always hang on the star notes, so if you see a star at the end of the serial number, I would say hang on to it. Now this $20 bill here sold for over $100. Moving right along to a 1977 $1 bill. Now the error on this is super simple to see. It is an obstructed face printing error. We can see that there in the image displayed. Nothing wrong with the back of the bill. It isn't in the best shape. There are some creases, but it's still a pretty valuable $1 bill. This 1977 $1 bill sold for over $1,200. Moving right along to a 1977 $5 bill. Man, do you guys miss this old design, or do you guys like the new design better? Let me know in the comments below. So this is an awesome error taking place. Obviously you could see that there on the back of the bill. You see the front of the bill being printed, and that is what is called an offset printing error. Now this $5 bill here sold for over $200. You would think it would sell for a little more, but 200 bucks, not too bad for a $5 bill from 1977. Moving on to another $1 bill. Now this one here, you can obviously see that it's got some ink smeared on it. Now you would think maybe someone did this. However, this is an ink smear error, so it does give it some value. It's a 1977 $1 bill that sold for over $215. Moving right along, we got a 1988 $5 bill. Now this has what is called a misaligned face printing error. So you can see that the top of the bill is cut off there, and you can see partially the bottom of the bill. You can see that line there. But if we look closer at the serial number, the green seal, the signatures there, you can see that they're all misaligned. So because of that error, this 1988 $5 bill sold for over $55. Nothing crazy, but still an awesome find if you happen to come across something like this. Moving right along to a 1988 $1 bill. Federal Reserve notes. Alright, so this one here has a web error solvent smear on the back of the bill. We can see that there in the image displayed. Nothing wrong there. It seems to have nothing wrong, at least with the front of the bill. Now this $1 bill here sold for over $120. This is a super simple error to look for. All you gotta do is pull out your money in your wallet and literally just look for these types of errors. Next up, one of my favorites of the video, really like this one, how it's just one little section there to the left side of the bill. We see the reverse design of the bill going across the front left side there. So that is a partial back to face offset error, and that will give the $1 bill some value. This $1 bill here sold for over $65. Next up, another $1 bill. This one is from 1999, and this one has a mismatched serial number. So if we look at the left side of the bill, we see the serial number starts off with A1319, and then it goes on 6639C. If we look at the serial number on the right side of the bill, right above where it says Washington, D.C., you will see that it starts off with A031, and the other one starts off with A131. So that is a mismatched serial number. These are probably overlooked a lot because people don't really check their serial numbers and see if they match. I recommend that you absolutely do. This $1 bill sold for over $480. A 1999 $1 bill, just because of that mismatched serial number there. And of course it does depend on the condition of the bill as well, which will determine its ultimate value at the end. But always be on the lookout for these. I cannot stress this enough, guys. I'm always looking at my bills for mismatched serial numbers. I cannot wait to find one. Hopefully I do one day. This is awesome. Almost $500 for a $1 bill. Alright, next up is a big buck, a $100 bill. This is a cutting error. You can see it's pretty clear. Little blurry there in the image. You can see the cutting error there, how the design of the bill is not all the way on there. It's not lined up right. And this $100 bill sold for over $500. So 5 times its value. Man, that is awesome. Next up is a $20 bill. This is from 2009, so you know, more modern bill, and it has an over-inked serial number error. So this one isn't super valuable, but if we zoom in there to the serial numbers, you can see how it's over-inked. So that is a super simple error to look for again as well. And this bill here sold for over 45 bucks. Now all you guys have to do is go to the bank, ask for $100 and $1 bills, and search for different types of errors like this. Now this is a Federal Reserve note here that has a defective paper stock with an insufficient ink on the face of the bill. So we can clearly see that in the image displayed here on the front of the $1 bill. There on the reverse of the $1 bill, you don't really see much going on. But this $1 bill sold for over $1,900. Moving right along, now this is an older type of bill. It's from 1974. It is a Federal Reserve note, $20 bill. That is a dual denomination. So you can see there on the front of the bill, it is a $20 bill, and then on the reverse, it is a $10 bill. So you can literally look for that on any type of bill. Maybe it's a $5 bill with the $1 back, or a $10 bill with the $5 front. Always look for this and make sure that your bills match up. Super simple to look for. This $20 bill sold for over $32,000. Could you imagine finding that in circulation? All right, next up is a 1976 $2 bill. Now, if you have any $2 bills, or really any type of US currency, always look for this type of stuff. Super simple, like I said, very noticeable when you're going through your bills. This is a multiple overprint with 2 serial numbers. So you can see the 2 seals there, 2 serial numbers. And this $2 bill sold for over $17,000. In my other currency videos, I show you different types of serial numbers to look for, mismatched suffix, things like that. So be sure to go check those out. I'll put them at the end of this video. Now here's another 1976 $2 bill. It has an insufficient inking error. Now we can see that there taking place on the front of the bill. And this one is a star note as well. We see the star there at the end of the serial number. This $2 bill from 1976 sold for over $1,600. Next up, my favorite $1 bill of this video. This is awesome, man. This is just amazing. You can see the error taking place. We got the upside down seal and serial number there on both sides of the $1 bill, on the left side and on the right side. So that is absolutely amazing, man. Definitely always check your bills when you guys are getting stuff back and change. This 1977 $1 bill sold for over $320. Next up, another super simple error to look for. You can look for this on different types of US currency as well. This bill sold for over $370 because of the retained paper fragment there that you see at the top of the $1 bill. So always be on the lookout for that. Next up is a 1985 $1 bill, Federal Reserve notes here. We can see the error taking place on the reverse of the bill there, and that is the end of the roll, a failed splice. Now this 1985 $1 bill sold for over $1,800. Moving right along to the big bill, the $100 bill from 1996. Federal Reserve note. Now this is some good currency here, man. It's got an offset printing error. So we can see that there in the image displayed. You see the reverse of the bill design there on the front of the bill. So you can look for that on just about any type of US currency as well. These are errors that take place on not just $100 bills. Now this $100 bill sold for over $1,400. Next up is another 1996. This is a $20 Federal Reserve note. So this is an ink smear error. You can clearly see that there on the back of the $20 bill. And this bill sold for over $2,500. Moving right along to another $100 bill from 1996. Now you can see that there's not much of a design there on the reverse of the bill, and that is missing the back printing error. So always be on the lookout for that on any type of US currency. This $100 bill sold for over $5,700. Next up's a really interesting $20 bill. Now this one is from 1996 as well, and you can see there on the front of the $20 bill, there's an enigmatic error which is printed on the paper with a barcode embedded in it. So you can see that barcode there on the $20 bill. Wow, that's pretty amazing. This $20 bill sold for over $1,400. Don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the other rare currency videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I will see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.